Taking a look at today's equity index futures markets. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ futures today as they're having a nice strong session. For a second day, we're seeing strength and a nice recovery from last Thursday's big sell-off. We're seeing the NASDAQ futures pushing back up to the top end of the recent range with this 1.8% move higher today. Now, we did see them higher on the session, giving up some ground late in the session, but still right around the 13,075 level. I think when you look at some of the reasons why we're seeing this strength, there's a couple things. Interest rate stability. Today we saw the 10-year give up 5 basis points in yield, coming back below 170 basis points, 168. And certainly when you look at how the NASDAQ's reacted here the last several months, the rising rate environment has certainly had an impact on the NASDAQ and therefore the NASDAQ futures. So some stability there, I think, helped support the NASDAQ futures. Couple that with the big tech names coming back in line today with some strong numbers and some strong percentage numbers and gains, I should say. We did see the likes of Facebook continue to push higher, Microsoft catching a bit, Apple bouncing nicely today. So those big tech names had strong sessions today and therefore helping to boost the NASDAQ index and also certainly impacting the NASDAQ futures. Now looking at today's performance, quite a dispersion. I want to point out the NASDAQ futures up about 1.8%. We did see the S&P futures up about 80 basis points or just over 0.75%. The Dow futures up about 0.5%, but the Russell futures, down about 60 basis points or a little over 0.5%. So a big dispersion today between the NASDAQ futures and the Russell futures as we did see this rotation trade that's been kind of trending the last few months coming back in a little bit today. So a bit of a reversal in that rotation trade with those NASDAQ futures having a very strong session as the Russell futures finished down on the session.